In this video, I'd like to discuss how to make sense of things after our brainstorming and affinity clustering process. Now, have you ever sat around a table and couldn't get people to agree on what to do next? Did the meeting go in all sorts of different directions because people couldn't prioritize? Did it end up with a long list of bullet points that nobody knew what to do with? Well, brainstorming and affinity cluster are very powerful tools, but we need to make sense of what's going on and we need to move things forward. And that's where we come to design thinking and its use of heuristic tools. So design thinking uses these heuristic devices or tools to make sense of what's going on. And in this video, I'd like to explain one tool that I use, but there are many others. And I think it's really important just to sort of take baby steps and look at this one process or device first. Now, a heuristic device is an abstract construct. It's a framework or a model that assists us in exploring a phenomenon. And in this case, we're talking about tourism. So a heuristic device usually involves assumptions that are made and we draw from previous experience, empirical evidence, or maybe patterns that we've observed. They represent a subjective understanding of the world, and they are loose enough that we can explore and apply them in the setting that we're working in. And by looking at a framework or looking at the phenomenon through a device, we can explore irregularities, new things that we haven't thought of before, and we can start to question and make sense of the phenomenon and really deepen our understanding of what's going on. Now, these devices have three main purposes. They make us question and give us new ways of looking at an issue or a phenomenon. Second, they're a way of representing relationships, interactions, and possibly scale. And third, they convey complexity. So put simply, a heuristic device really just helps us to organize and make sense of complex issues. And it represents a kind of a preliminary analysis of what we think is going on, and it has explanatory value. So let's be clear, a heuristic device is not a diagnostic tool. It doesn't tell us what to do, it just tells us, or it just really gives us some questions about how to understand it more deeply. So how are heuristic devices used in design thinking? I use a fairly simple 2x2 matrix, which is a really powerful prioritizing tool after we've done our brainstorming and affinity clustering. So in this tool, I either put impact and importance on the two continuums, or I put impact and feasibility. And just making that 2x2 matrix, we can really start to plot along these two continuums either the feasibility or the importance of the actions that we've identified. Where something is low effort but high impact, we should do it now. But where it's low effort and low impact, well, it's something that you could do, but don't emphasize it. It's going to yield small results, and you shouldn't be placing a lot of effort there right now. Make it a task to be done when you have time to do it and the resources are available. Where a task is high effort and high impact, it should be done, but it should be done with more resources, and it probably needs to be programmed into the work schedule. Perhaps you need to look for funding. Where a task is high effort and low impact, just forget it. Focus on the other areas of the matrix. Those areas need more attention. This matrix is used a lot in design thinking, and when it's placed after the brainstorming and affinity clustering exercises, you can really start to see how it helps prioritize what we need to do. Many people forget to really bring their brainstorming to a close and make it powerful. And using these kind of heuristic devices will actually help us to do that effectively. Thank you.